All right, all right. Good, good, good. You guys can hear me just fine. Oh, look, I'm on TV too.
Make sure you look good on all angles, right, Alex?
Yeah, that's how I look. I'm a lot hairier than I'm used to being.
Hey, man, you're a young veteran in the sport. Tell us a little bit about that, getting up to fight night, back in the Apex. What's going on? How you been?
I've been good. I've been as good as I can be training-wise. Yeah, I've been chilling, just trying to get a fight in.
Any reason why we haven't seen you more active? You stay active. You try to be. From the Ultimate Fighter to now. You are a veteran, but I say that respectfully. And you're always up. Did the match with Juicy J get you really going and somebody you could really match up with well and maybe just make it a fight of the night?
Excuse me?
With Juicy J, you've been in the game for a minute, and when they gave you that contract, you see the name and you're like, okay, this is somebody that I can really have fun with.
Oh.
You guys match up well to make it the fight of the night.
I mean, I'm gonna try my best to fight my best. So if that involves becoming fight of the night or having a good performance, and yeah, I'm gonna be out there and fight hard. Yeah, I try to stay active. Pertaining to the first question, yeah, I try to stay active. I don't know who's responsible for that, but what I've heard is just 145 is very hard. Once you reach 15 and up, it's very hard to find fights for those guys. Because a lot of those guys, they just have fights, or some of them are injured, or maybe they just need the right matchup. So I think that's why it's more recently you're starting to see less activity from me or other people, because I guess they're trying to find the right matchups, and they did with this one. It's a good fight, so it should be enjoyable.
Absolutely, man. And how has camp been for leading up to this bout, closing out the year, Beck?
It's been grindy. It's been good. I feel like I've made strides in a lot of places. It's always improving.
Excellent. And how do you see yourself matching up with Julian? Where do you see your advantages?
Haven't really given that much thought. I just know I'm a good fighter, and he's a good fighter, and we're going to match up really well, and I'll see what happens when I get in there.
If you had the choice, would you just want to give us those hard 15 minutes, Bruce Leroy style, or just get that finish and go home?
Either or. I'm not biased towards anything. I do love fighting. If I can stay in there for 15 minutes and have a good scrap, that's one thing, yeah. If I do get the finish early, I'm also excited for that, because that also says that I've been growing in skill and progressing in my skill set. So, yeah, either or. I'm not biased.
Excellent. Thank you, sir, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
I've just got a weird one that I'm going to have to explain why I'm asking. Out there, I keep seeing the slap fighters coming in and out, and I'm just curious if you've ever considered doing that and what you think of it.
Yes, I have. I have considered it. I think it's hilarious. It's cool. I don't know. It's funny. Just this pain tolerance. I'm pretty sure that's what it's mostly about. But I figured I have pretty big hands. I know I'm one of the only 145ers that wear large gloves in the UFC. So I've been I think I could be pretty decent at slapping somebody. But
do you think that the fans who criticize it are taking it a little too serious? You think maybe people should just kind of relax and let them do what they want to do?
What are the criticisms?
Oh, everybody hates it. Everyone thinks it's not good for the brain and all that
neither is smoking cigarettes. Neither is working in factory plants. Neither is eating bad food or getting punched in the head for a living like I do, or surfing, skate. I mean, a lot of things is dangerous. Sitting still is dangerous. Being too sedentary could mess up your brain. So, yeah, take your chances. It's your life.
Thank you.
Hey, Alex.
How's it going?
What were the emotions like after your fight in March? You had this big, long win streak, get snapped, close fight. What were the emotions like?
I wasn't too down. Honestly, I fought and I'm not hurt. That's the best thing I can hope for. I fought a hard fight and go all the way to the end and walk away with no injuries. That's a pretty good day for me.
And all throughout the year, you pop in at number 15, you get out of the rankings, you pop back in. How does it feel to, finally get the recognition and be a top 15 fighter?
I'm aware of it. I'm definitely excited for the new competition, for the heavier competition, and everything like that. But I don't watch the sport and I don't pay attention. I don't really care about anything but fighting. sorry.
I like that. It's all good, man. Awesome. Thank you.
You know, one of the things in this sport is all about not getting slapped, not getting hit. And then we're going back to the slap competition. They're not allowed to move their head. They're not allowed to do anything. Is that a bit just strange to you? And I mean, maybe it goes to what you said. It's just all about toughness. But I mean, if somebody told you, Alex, in your next fight, you can't move your head. You just got to take every punch. That sounds a bit crazy, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't normally fight like that. I'm not a brawler. But there has been occasions where I'm feeling the fight, you know, especially every Mexican fighter I fought. I feel like we get in the middle and we just start going for blows, not moving our head, and just see what happens. And so I know I definitely have that capacity to want that to, you know, want to express that emotion as well in the fight. So I don't see it as crazy. I know that that people are capable of that or wanting to express themselves in such a way. So.
I'm glad you mentioned, you know, if you're feeling that, because something that I've always appreciated about your fight style is you could see the moments where you sort of get into that flow state that everybody says that they always want to try to reach when they're in a fight. What is the process that you take in your mind, or how do you set up yourself to enter into a flow state when you're in the fight?
The flow state. Surrender. You know, surrendering to your calmness. Then everything surrenders to you. You know, trying to, I wouldn't say not caring about the situation. You should care deeply about the situation, but not caring about the result. And I mean, I guess you can take it from like Bruce Lee when he says empty your mind, you know, like really you must empty your mind from desires, from wants, from aspirations, from anything that you're trying to achieve, and you got to let it happen. And your body subconsciously, your brain subconsciously, your spirit subconsciously knows what's best for you. So if you let it take the reins, and it cannot steer you wrong. I tell people this when I get into that state, you know, and I feel like I dodge every single punch. I feel like I'm watching myself from top down. I'm not in my body, you know, I'm not doing it. And that's true. Like, it's weird. Like, I see it from the outside, from a third person's perspective. I'm just allowing it to happen.
So do you we also hear a lot of fighters talk about visualization for the fight. Do you play the fight out in advance? Like when you know that your opponent, have you already sort of visualized how this fight's going to play out?
In a sense, yes. I play out every single possible scenario, even the bad ones. So, yeah, I play out the fight in every which way it could happen. Me losing by submission, any type of punch, you know, whether it be a decision, getting all the way to the end, thinking that I won, being robbed. You know, I think about every single possible scenario. Me robbing the other person, you know, like every single possible scenario. And I feel like that helps me not adhere to a single path. That when I'm in the moment, when you are in the moment, you can see every single path around you when you are present in the moment, and you can choose which path to take. But they won't be available to you if you just, you know, hone your focus all on one path. It's kind of like that saying that they say, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but is still better than a master of one.
So when you're going in there and you have Julian across the cage, are there particular things that you're looking for him to bring in this fight due to his past styles, or does it even matter what he's bringing? Because already in your head, you're open to every possibility that he's going to bring towards you.
Yeah, we definitely look at what he likes to do. But at the end of the day, I very loosely adhere to that, because every time I step in the cage with somebody, it seems like I'm fighting a different opponent than what
you've seen on tapes?
What I've seen on tapes or what I've seen on previous fights, and I attribute it to me having such an awkward style, that they're going to have to switch up game plans, they're going to have to switch up in the moment, that I'm not going to be fighting the person that I've seen on tapes or fighting these other opponents, even if it was recent, you know, so I gotta, it depends on what I bring to the table, I feel like, and not to sound as if I'm in control of everything, I'm obviously not, but I just my style, I don't do things traditionally, so people would have to switch it up for me.
Well, I kind of brought that up with him. I asked him if, you know, due to your style and sort of not awkward, but just different, coming at different angles, did he try to bring somebody into camp to try to emulate you? Is it possible for someone to bring somebody to emulate you, or is your style so unique to that moment in time that somebody can't replicate?
I honestly don't think people can replicate my style. You know, I can't replicate my style. It's going to be different every time. I'm not. I'm like I'm in what I forgot. One of my coaches used to say that I'm an in the moment fighter. You know, so I know the techniques, I know the moves, but where I throw them from and when I do it, it's completely up to the situation. So it would be very difficult. I mean, there are tendencies that I have, you know, like, okay, he's long, he likes to throw the jab a lot, he likes his check hook, you know, he likes side kicks or whatever. You can take these things, and these things that I will throw more often than others. But when and why and how I'm throwing them would differentiate every time.
So you're like a jazz musician when you get in there. You just like to improvise.
Yeah.
All right, and then last question for me. When it comes to Saturday, what do you need to do to make sure that you get your arm raised in victory? What are your keys to the victory?
Fight hard. Nothing, very simple. Fight hard, don't get hit. I try to keep it as simple as possible. Same thing when people ask me, and this is just going off in a tangent real quick, but same thing a lot of people ask me, oh, Alex, do you worry about stances? If he's righty or lefty, does it make a difference to you? No, it doesn't make a difference to me. Keep it simple. The guy has 2 arms and 2 legs. He's trying to hit me with all 4 of those things. Stay away from those things, block those things, and counter those things, and then you'll be safe. I've never had a problem with different stances. His 2 arms, just don't get hit by those.
Perfect and simple. I love it. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
One quick follow-up. I think you had 26 UFC fights. Is that correct?
26? I don't know, man.
I think I counted that correctly.
Okay.
You fought legends, you fought people that aren't in the promotion anymore. If you could get one loss back, one rematch, who would it be?
Well, I thought the Yahir fight was really fun. That'll be a great fight to do again. You know, it was a very close fight. We have very similar styles, and it's a fight for fireworks. So that's a cool fight right there for me.
That's awesome. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.